What's up, good people? Welcome to TajeAstrology. It's time for a little astrology gossip. Let's take a look at these celebrities' astrological placements to see what they're really like behind closed doors, and take a look at the energy that's around them. Yeah, we gonna be all up in their business, but keep in mind that all readings are for entertainment purposes only. So you ready? Let's go. What's up, everyone? Salute, salute. I hope all my love zodies are doing well. Well, y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for another celebrity couple reading. And as y'all can see, we are going to take a look at Miss Rihanna and Mr. A$AP Rocky. All right. Now, they were already on the list to do, but shout out to Donna Lane, who requested Rihanna and or Chris Brown. So we're gonna do Rihanna and A$AP, but there is a bonus reading at the end. All right. All right. Make sure I hit the thumbs up button and let's go. All right. So Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. So we know that Rihanna is a famous singer. We know that A$AP Rocky is a famous rapper. Rihanna was born February 20th, 1988 in Bridgetown, Barbados. A$AP was born October 3rd, 1988 in Harlem, New York. All right. So let's take a look at them individually. Y'all know how we do. And then we're going to take a look to see how they mesh together. Okay. So, of course, we're going to start with Miss Rihanna. All right. So, Miss Rihanna is a Pisces sun, Aries moon, Aquarius Mercury, Aries Venus, Sagittarius Mars, Aries Jupiter, Capricorn Saturn, Capricorn Uranus, Capricorn Neptune, Scorpio Pluto, Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node, and Gemini Chiron. So what this tells me when I look at her chart is that with all of this Capricorn energy that she has in like the generational planets, that she is not like the typical Pisces. I do see, of course, she is very creative. Um, she's probably very spiritual, right? But I believe that Capricorn energy is going to ground her a little bit more. Not saying that she's not dreaming, not saying that she doesn't see things through rose-colored glasses, but she's probably a little bit more focused and grounded and centered, and not allowing that Neptunian energy to take over, uh, and to probably be a little bit more mature than some of her fellow Piscean sisters that we previously have talked about. Now that Aries moon is telling me that moon, moon is emotion, moon is feelings, that she's probably a little spicy because we know that Aries can be very spicy, very fiery when needed. Okay, so again, I do believe that Capricorn energy, she probably a regular Aries moon is can be off the chain, and but when you have a lot of Capricorn placements, again, she's probably able to handle herself in a more mature, grounded way than say the average Aries moon. All right. Now with an Aquarius Mercury, she's Aquarius is air, so she's probably very cerebral. Cerebral. She probably loves good conversation. She probably talks in a way that may be a little bit odd or strange to everyone else because we do know that Aquarius energy It's a little bit different. It's a little bit strange, but strange and different doesn't mean bad. It just means different, right? And she may speak on a higher level than most are prepared to experience. Now we got this Aries Venus. Okay, Venus is love. It is how you show love, how you receive love. And with Aries Venus, they can be very spontaneous, impulsive, uh, don't really like to be held down, like a level of freedom. And then with that Sagittarius Mars, she might be Sagittarius can be blunt, so she might be a little bit blunt with her words, and they might seem to be a little bit odd or strange because she does have that Aquarius uh, influence with Mercury. All right. And again, like I said, that she has a lot of Capricorn energy with the Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And then Aries in Jupiter, or Jupiter in Aries, uh, she can be centered, balanced, grounded with that Capricorn energy, but Jupiter expands. So I think when she needs to get jiggy with it, she can. I believe that she absolutely, positively can. All right, so let's take a look at Mr. ASAP Rocky. All right, so ASAP Rocky, Libra Sun, Cancer Moon, Libra Mercury, Leo Venus, Aries Mars, Gemini Jupiter, Sagittarius Saturn, Sagittarius Uranus, Capricorn Neptune, Scorpio Pluto, North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo, and Cancer Chiron. All right, so we talked about our Libra guys quite often here. We just go back to previous readings. And with your Libra sun, the Libra guys, they're really charismatic. They're very flirtatious and typically easy to get along with. Uh, they're usually very kind of go with the flow, but they will rise up when they need to. And they like to keep things balanced. And with Libra, Libra is the sign of relationships. So a lot of Libras, they value relationships, they value partnerships. Now with Cancer, Cancer Moon, well, we know that Cancers are ruled by the moon. So he's probably a little emotional because, I mean, he can't help it. It's Cancer Moon, so that's double Cancer energy, right? But he probably has an affinity towards women and can relate, and probably is a little bit softer with women because he has that Cancer Moon energy. Libra Mercury, again, Libras, they don't like confrontation. They will kind of shrink themselves in order to avoid it or in order to keep the peace, in order to keep things flowing. That Leo Venus, now we've had a Leo Venus before, and so Leo Venus requires admiration, and Venus is love. So he needs to feel that his partner loves him, and not only just love him, but admire him, and can see the uh, him for the quality person that he is. Because Leos are ruled by the sun, and the sun is the center of the universe. And so Leo Venus needs to be the center of the universe of the person that they're with. Now, with Aries Mars can go a couple of ways. That's, of course, that's fiery. Aries is fiery energy. Mars is ruled by uh, Aries is ruled by Mars, and that is fiery energy, and that is also passion, and it can also be conflict, right? So even though he has a lot of Leo or Libra energy, like I said earlier, if he needs to rise up, he will rise up. And if he gets kind of moody and emotional. He can get a little fiery with his feelings and how he handles conflict. Now uh, he has a Saturn, Uranus. All right, so Saturn is kind of like the authoritarian of the zodiac sign, and Sagittarius is kind of jovial, lighthearted, free flowing, right? So with that Saturn, he may be a little bit more grounded because Sagittarius like variety. And I think that with that Saturn, it might kind of calm him down a little bit than with your typical Sagittarius. Probably like a little bit more freedom. Okay. All right, so let's just take a look at them together. And you know what? I really think that they are a cute couple. I really, really do. I don't know what it is about them. They just look cute together. They've had, what are they, on their like third or fourth baby? I know that some people were kind of reluctant of their relationship because I think she was like a billionaire maybe, and he was like not a billionaire, and some people had some things to say about that. But I really do like their chart. I like the energy of their chart, and I like the planets that they have within their chart. So let's take a look at their charts together. All right, so we got Pisces, Sun, Libra, Sun. Now, with this, both value connection, love, and the aesthetics, right? Because you know, Libras, they like to look good, feel good. Yeah. Pisces is going to bring that emotional depth. Libra is going to bring that balance and diplomacy. And together, there's a strong mutual admiration and like a social compatibility. Now, with this placement, with this Pisces, Leo, or Libra Sun placement, Pisces can be vague. We know that because that's where we got the fish going in opposite directions. And Libras can be decisive, right? They really lean on their partner to help them make decisions, all right? And so with this Pisces, Libra Sun, this can lead to like avoidance of confrontation on both sides because really Pisces don't like confrontation either. This could be like emotional versus intellectual processing, and sometimes that can be like, say, a mismatch. Now let's look at their moon placements, Aries and Cancer. Now this is strong instinctual pull and attachment, right? Aries moon energizes Cancer's moon emotionally, and Cancer moon softens Aries moon reactivity because we know that Aries can be a little impulsive. Now with this, the challenges can be like Aries, again, they react fast, they are on speed. And Cancer is going to react deeply. So this could be like an emotional mismatch, emotional pacing mismatch. And hurt feelings versus impatient cycles can resurface if that is not dealt with and communicated with an emotional or on a mature level. Now, the Mercury placements, you got Aquarius and Libra. So, you know, I think that with this air placement, there's easy intellectual rapport. They have shared progressive, forward thinking ideas. And I think that their communication is just a natural conversational flow. Now, on the flip side, we know that Aquarius detaches emotionally, and Libra, because they really don't want to bring about confrontation, they might over explain, they might, you know, do this to seek agreement, even if they really don't agree because they just want to keep the peace. And with this, there could be conflict through that avoidance because it's a logical situation. So it, like I said, it could be conflict avoidance through trying to think things through. All right. Venus is love language, how you love, how you want to be loved. We got Aries and Leo. All right. So this right here is like a massive romantic sexual chemistry, right? And the passionate is expressive love styles, and there's like mutual admiration and attraction. With this also, it could be power struggles in affection, right? Because we know that Aries values independence, and Leo needs that attention, like I said earlier. So it could lead to ego clashes if they feel that they are unappreciative, if they're not open and honest and recognize who the other one is. Now, moving to the Mars, we got Sagittarius and Aries. All right, again, extreme strong sexual compatibility. They have that shared adventurous drive, high energy, and I believe that they motivate each other. There's motivation together, and they feed on each other's energy. Now, with this, because we know that Sagittarius can be blunt, Aries can be fiery, it could lead to competitive arguments, impulsivity if they're not restraining themselves. And, it can, if they get into a little argument, it could be a little heated. They can't escalate quickly, but I do think they have other grounding situations that's going to help reel them back in. I don't think that they would get into something that just blows up everything. Maybe it might heat up, but I don't think it's going to blow up everything. Now look at Jupiter. We got Aries and Gemini. Okay. So with this is growth through action and curiosity, because we know that Geminis are curious, and Aries are as well, right? This placement encourages like confidence and expansion. They have fun together. They are playful. There's a certain optimism that they have with each other. Now, too much of this, it could be like an overextension, or maybe like an inconsistency, because Gemini, they lose interest quickly, as well as Aries, they lose interest quickly. Aries kind of want it now. The Gemini, moves quickly, but they can move on. They can move past it quicker. So with this, there's like different growth philosophies, right? Gemini is going to be more cerebral, more thought process. Aries is going to be more energy driven. And with this, there may be like some risk taking without the proper grounding, all right? Because you got fire and you got that air. Now, taking a look at the Saturn, we got Capricorn, we got Sagittarius. Now, with this, Rihanna is going to provide structure and discipline with that Capricorn, and Rocky is going to bring that vision and that philosophical growth, right? And that is bringing a balance of like realism and meaning to their relationship. Now, again, the flip side of that is that Capricorn can be kind of rigid, because, like I said, they're the authoritarians of the zodiac sign. They are the parents. And then Sagittarius wants that freedom. They want to be able to move about the country freely, right? And so with this could be like a control versus independence kind of conflict. And with this, it can produce like different timelines for responsibility, because Capricorn is going to be about their business. They want to take care of it now, whereas Sagittarius is going to kind of deal with it when they deal with it. Capricorn is going to make sure the business is done right now. You're going to deal with it first. And, Sagittarius just kind of deal with it when it comes, maybe when it becomes a problem. Okay. All right, taking a look at Uranus, you got your Capricorn and Sagittarius again. With Uranus, this energy is going to kind of push each other towards like evolution. All right, because Uranus is that Aquarius, right? So there, that's evolution. Humanity is all, is forward thinking. With this placement, it's shared unconventional lifestyles, right? So they get each other, and they may not need to look like everybody else expects them to look or how they think that their relationship should look. They get each other, right? And I think that there is a willingness to redefine the norm. They don't really care what y'all think as long as they get each other. And it looks like they get each other. Now, if they're not grounded, of course, it leads to instability, right? That Aquarius can lead to sudden shifts in directions, because we know that Uranus can flip just like that. And there may be a resistance to compromise with that Capricorn energy. But I think that they get each other, and I think that they're older, and they're not old, but I think that they have reached a mature level where they can work through that if it becomes a problem. Now, Neptune energy, Capricorn, they both share this Capricorn energy in Neptune's, that shared dreams, and that's shared dreams around legacy and purpose. So not just dreaming like nice, sweet, cute puppy dog dreams, but this is around legacy and purpose. So they have that share because Capricorn is about taking care of business. There is a spiritual understanding of ambition and a mutual vision for the long-term impact. Neptune by itself sees things through rose-colored glasses. They may see things as how they're not really, they want that warm and fuzzy feeling. But when you bring in that Capricorn energy with that Neptune, that's going to bring the grounding. That's going to bring that long-term, see things as they are, uh, as opposed to how you want them to see. Now, the challenges on that is uh, the idealizing success over emotions. So they're really going to have to tap into their emotional aspect of this, so that they're not just focused on that success, and making sure that they don't use work to escape when things get, that they handle that emotional aspect of it, and not just work, 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 and making sure that they don't avoid the art of being vulnerable. Okay, because sometimes that Capricorn energy can avoid, like, vulnerability. What is that? No, I'm just going to go work. And I think as long as they realize that that could present itself in their relationship, then I think that that's workable. Pluto, they have the Scorpio energy, right? So Scorpio, anything with Scorpio is going to be deep, it's going to be emotional, there's going to be sexual intensity, there's a strong transformational bond. So they transform each other, right? And this right here is like power couple potential. Now, on the flip side of it, it could be control issues. It could be emotional extremes. You know how Scorpios are. It's all or nothing dynamic, right? So they got to be make sure that they're mindful of that. That there's some flexibility with that. All right. Let's see here. We got the North Node, South Node, Pisces, Virgo. They both have that. So with this is shared karmic and destined connection. All right. There's that mutual respect, mutual growth towards emotional surrender, and healing through compassion and family. With that, they have to make sure they're letting go of any habits of criticism, over analyzing, and letting go of that fear of control. Okay, because you really can't progress in a relationship when you're trying to control, when you're trying to micromanage, and when you're trying to nitpick. So that is something that they have to go through. Now, with the Chiron placement, they have Gemini Cancer. So that is healing through communication and care. It's emotional safety, and that's going to promote growth, of course. and encourages that vulnerability, right? So we talked about that earlier. So that vulnerability in a relationship is needed, but you have to be able to uh, trust your partner that they're not going to throw that up in your face. And the flip on this is that Gemini Cancer, it could trigger emotional wounds. There might be a little bit of miscommunication during the conflict, and there might be a little bit of sensitivity about feeling understood, right? They have a lot of other good placements that makes me feel that they can work through this. So I do feel that they have an extremely strong romantic and sexual chemistry. They have a really nice emotional bond. They have karmic undertones, have the shared growth of legacy and family themes. And, I think they have a really nice complementary masculine feminine balance, right? Um, some challenges might be reactivity to emotional versus being sensitive. So they really got to make sure that they're just not reacting, not being too sensitive, but just focus on the problem at hand, call it what it is, and deal with it from that aspect. Um, Again, might be some power struggles in affection and control, especially with that Scorpio Pluto. But you know, I think again, they have a lot of strong grounding planets that I think that they're going to be okay with that. And I think that another challenge might be the need for conscious emotional communication. Because again, they have a lot of Capricorn energy, so they got to make sure they tap into that emotional level, not just hide out in work, but not be overly emotional. So I think that as long as their emotional needs are overly addressed, ego is balanced with vulnerability, and conflict is resolved, not avoided, I think there's a high probability for long term success with their relationship. Now, if they don't deal with it and they just kind of avoid everything and play like things ain't what they are, or see things how they really shouldn't see things, or not speak up, there could be emotional withdrawals, and they can cycle and cycle and cycle. And there might be power struggles that kind of create distance. You got to be careful with that Scorpio Pluto because there's a lot of control if not addressed. So, but I think that if they evolve and grow and have open communication, they can have like a very enduring transformational partnership, strong family legacy, and emotional foundation. And I think that their chart is one of the most natural compatibility celebrity synastry. So, like I said, I really have a good feeling about their chart. Now, the bonus reading. Now, we're not going to stay on here too long because ASAP and Rihanna, they're doing well. I love their chart. I think, they're a very cute couple, a very cute family, right? But Donna Lane did ask about Chris Brown. And, I was interested because, we're nosy over here. I did want to look at their chart to see, okay, what happened, because we all know that when they were young, and they were a lot younger, uh, they had, the whole world knew they had gotten into this fight. She was beat up, he was beat up. And so I wanted to take a look to see, okay, what was that dynamic? What was really going on with the going on with the going on? And, I was really surprised because I thought that I would see more Aries in his chart, and looking at it, I don't see. I mean, he got the Pluto Scorpio as well. But I think when I look at his chart compared to her chart, right? Pisces and Taurus, they typically get along. Taurus is loyal, grounded, but they are very stubborn, right? Pisces is dreamy and creative and very spiritual. So when you look at the suns, you're like, okay, that's cool. What is that? But when you look at that moon, their moons, that Aries, again, Aries is impulsive and fiery. And Taurus, again, loyal, grounded, but they can be very, very stubborn. And we know that when Tauruses get mad, they see red. But we also know that when Aries get mad, they set shit on fire, right? So, and she has, even though she's a Pisces, she has a lot of Aries energy. She got Aries moon, Aries Venus, Aries Jupiter, right? So even though Pisces are typically, I mean, they can be kind of passive aggressive, but for the most part, passive, she got some fire in her. And I personally don't believe, because if I remember the story when it all came out, they kind of made it seem like he was just beating her ass and she was just, I really think that she gave him a run for his money, right? I don't think, and I mean, I could be wrong, I'm just looking at the placements, that he was just beating her ass, beating her ass, beating her ass. I think that with that, uh, Aries Venus for her, Taurus Venus for him, uh, Taurus, they like ownership, right? And they're stubborn. So he could have had that, you're mine, I want things my way. And with that Aries energy, you're not gonna be able to hold the Aries down. And if they need to fight, they will. So I think that with that Mercury, her Aquarius, probably maybe spoke a language that he didn't understand, and he probably, how I feel about Gemini Mercury's, they're kind of they fast talkers, may had the habit of telling some white lies, and I think that may have been the conflict that they had with each other. Uh, There's Cancer Mars, so that's emotional, moody, and that's that fight energy. So if he, once he got into his mood, and he probably, turned up the fire. And I think that with her Sagittarius Mars, that's fire too. They can be friendly, but they can get with that ass as well. So yeah, I don't think that she was, even though Pisces can be the martyr sometimes, I really don't think that that was the case in this particular instance. I think that his stubborn Taurus, because you got Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Venus, I think that he may have been a little bit more demanding of her than she was willing to give with that Aries energy, even though she's a Pisces, right? A lot of fire energy, a lot of Capricorn energy, and with that Capricorn energy, he does as well. They both have shared Capricorn placements, right? So you got basically two parents or parental energies potentially trying to rule. And Aries is not going to allow that, and Taurus is not going to be moved, right? But I think that they have, I think that the people, the fans, may be bothered by that, but I think that they probably just moved on from that. I think they realized that they just wasn't compatible. And instead of just trying to force something that is not going to work, or that's going to end in conflict, or just you're just not compatible, I think they just decided to move on. I think they decided just to move on and keep it pushing. And so yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time on them, because they both moved on to their respective, well, I know that she's of course with ASAP. I'm not really certain what his relationship status is. I know that he's been in some more trouble with the law in regards to turning getting jiggy with it, and I think that he's driven by his mood, because Cancer's moody, Mars is fight. And so anytime, and then you add in that Taurus. So if he gets in his mood and then he's stubborn, that he's gonna just feel how he feel, however he feel, and then you got that Mars influence that, okay, well, if I need to fight, I'm gonna fight. And then you got that Capricorn influence saying, and I'm right. I know I'm right. Yeah. And maybe I'll do a reading on him separately. But yeah, that's it. That's all. But I wanted to touch on that. Again, shout out to Donna Lane for the suggestion. I appreciate that. And make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you haven't already, comment and who you want me to do next. And let me know what y'all think about Rihanna and ASAP. Hey, Eddie for Rihanna and Chris Brown. Alright? And I will holler at y'all in the next video. Salute. Salute.